Hi everyone, Michelle from Hiking and Camping Adventures. Thanks for joining me. Today I am going to have a little bit of a look at something that is horrible. It is a plant that is so harmful. It is known as the deadliest plant in Australia. And there's a reason for that. It is just the pain that you feel if you encounter this plant. You will never forget it. It is just one of the most excruciating things I have ever happened to me. And the best thing that we can do is be educated about it. Because as much as I would like to see it not out there, it is an intricate part of the ecosystem. There are certain moths, butterflies, insects that will actually use it to lay their eggs, etc. So the best thing we can do as adventurers, being out there in the wild, is to be educated so we don't go anywhere near it. All right, so see this lovely love heart. This lovely love heart leaf is the Gympie Gympie plant. And it is not as it suggests. There's nothing love hearty about it. This is a love heart shaped leaf that is, when I encountered it, it was reasonably low to the ground. It was a pretty young plant. It maybe had 6-7 leaves that came out from a central one. The leaves and the stem all have the fine like hairs on them. If you're aware of nettle, then you will recognize and see those very fine leaves on hairs on leaves, needle-like ones, and you know to avoid it. We were coming back. Had gone up a 550 odd meter mount, and we were coming back down the gorge and going along. We'd had some rain, so it was a little bit slippery. So we were down. I put my hand over to the side and right into them. Now, I ended up with it through here, 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 and through here. The sensation was immediate. It was just excruciating. It was burning. It was, if you've been stung by nettles, amp it up 10 times. It just was, oh my Lord, what is going on? And that is the best way to describe it. It is just a burning hot sensation. As well as that kind of like prickle sensation on top of the burning heat. Now, I was like, holy, what did I just do? I stopped. I looked at the plant so that I could identify it, because that is really important when you're out there and something, if you come across something and you have some sort of reaction to it or something happens, see if you can take a photo. Get a good look at it so that you can identify it, so that if you are out there in the middle of nowhere, once you get back somewhere, you can then research it and look at it. That is a really important part of safety. Had a good look at it. Didn't touch it again, didn't get any specimens, just had a look at it. And I got some water in my mouth from my pack, and just swished it around so that it mixed up with the saliva. And I just tried to brush it off. I had no idea at this stage what I was dealing with, apart from I was in pain. After doing that a couple of times, I then, not any reaction. I did see that there were a couple of little pricks sticking out. So I got those and I just tried to gently pull them out from the way they came in. Not seeing anything. This is probably a couple of minutes later. And if anything, the pain is intensifying. So I also traversed down to my partner and got antihistamine out of my pack so that I could take that, and because I wasn't sure if I was having an allergic reaction at this stage because the pain was just terrible. So I took that. So those are the first two things I did. I then also got out some numbing antihistamine. No, sorry, not numbing antihistamine, numbing antiseptic. So an antiseptic with a bit of a numbing agent in it, and I rubbed that all over the things. So these are the first three things I just absolutely did immediately. As we were only a third of the way down, obviously we had to keep going, about 2 in the afternoon at this point. So over the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, the pain intensified. And just trying to grab onto rocks and boulder down and just slide down. I ended up doing a lot of sliding down on my bottom because I just couldn't do anything else because I was working with one less hand and the pain was just getting worse. Continued down, it probably took us about an hour to get down to the bottom. Once I got down to the bottom, there was a tap with creek water. Turned it on, ran it over my hand, and just tried to, again, get rid of as much as I could of it. And when the water hit it, the pain just doubled. It was like, and I just had to dry my hand and try and calm it down and everything else at this stage. Still had to get back to base camp or our camp. That probably took another 10-15 minutes to get back there. Once I was back there, we were lucky we had a limited amount of reception and did a couple of searches online and found out exactly what I was dealing with. So at this stage, the next step was to get some tape. Now, you should always have tape of some type, either in your emergency kit or your backpack. And this is one of the reasons for it, not just for taping things up and mending holes and anything else. This is about safety and just looking after yourself. Got off a bit of tape and just gently placed it on it and then tried to pull it off the way that I knew the needles went in. And I did that over all of my different sections of the plant. It hurt. It hurt. As I said, I've never felt anything as painful as this, and even doing these things, it hurt. After doing research, knowing that there wasn't really anything out there that was effective, what I then did was took some painkillers. Just some basic painkillers that keep in the kit to do it. The pain is so much, it's just about like, you can't feel your finger, like the numbing, burning pain that is there at this stage. I pretty much put me out that night. I was able to do some with my other hand to eat, get food, get ready for bed, do everything I needed to do, but taking painkillers again before I went to bed because not really any difference in the pain. Supposed to be driving home the next day, and at that point wondered what I was going to do, how I was even going to get home. So overnight, the first night, woke up regularly, I don't even know, 10 times at least, just through sharp pains coming through. Because you've got that burning sensation, and then whether or not it's where the pricks are, you'll suddenly get another sharp pain in a specific area on top of the overall pain. So that was what mainly kept me up at night and woke me up that first night. The next morning, I was lucky enough that it had subsided. It was still tender, and it was like all of a sudden someone would go bing and prick you with a needle, and you just get it, and that whole area would then burn. So I could work then, pack up camp so that we could get back and do everything else. We ended up driving an hour and a half, getting home after that. And I was lucky enough that I wouldn't have been able to the first day. The pain in my hand was just way, way too much. So got back, and again, the water on it or anything like that just intensified it. This is the first 24 hours, is just the first 12 hours were ridiculous. Well, no, probably about the first 16 hours were ridiculous. And then the next 12 hours after that, it was intermittent, but still there, still very aware of it, and just horrible. We're at 48 hours now, and all of a sudden you can just be here, and right now I can feel it through here, through here, through here, and then all of a sudden you'll just get like that prick again, and then that whole area will flare up. This could mean I've still got some little hairs in there that haven't come out, not getting as much of a reaction, because don't get me wrong, these things are deadly. These things will go in the air, not just that, and you can have a reaction to them. People can go into anaphylactic shock with these spikes, these little fine hypodermic needles that just go straight into you, break off, and don't come out. What happens is, once it's in there, if I've got any that are left in there now, my skin's closed over the top of them. So what's going to happen is my body will go, you're a foreign body, I need to create all of this lovely, lovely pus and push you out. So that's going to happen over time. And however long it happens, I suspect I'm probably going to get the reactions from it right the way through. They've actually done studies on these guys where they've had scientific specimens that have been kept 100 years, and they are still as toxic as newborn, like fresh, beautiful leaves. These are deadly, deadly stuff, called suicide plant, because they last so long in some cases with the pain that people have suicidal thoughts. It is toxic, it is horrible, and it is just, learn it. You see it along a rainforest, along a waterway in southeast Queensland, or up the east coast of Queensland into some parts of Asia, including Malaysia, Indonesia, and probably Papua New Guinea, I'd say. Avoid it. Don't touch it. Don't go near it. Just avoid it. Okay? Be aware out there, and always, always take your safety gear. The amount of times I've been out there and I have seen people who just go wandering and have nothing, be prepared, be safe. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your experience, because every time we take a step out there, we're experiencing a little bit more. Never seen this plant before, and now I know it. I'm never going to forget it. And if you come across it, either will you. Just do the right thing and be prepared, be safe, and get out there, adventure, have fun. It doesn't matter your age. It's just getting out there, and it's just living it. All right, if you'd like what you've heard, please like it, subscribe it, share it. I'm out there either hiking most weekends, but camping every couple of weekends. And I'll be sharing some of the adventures, some tips, and everything else. And remember, doesn't matter your age, it just matters that you're willing to have a go and get out there and have fun. All right then, have a good one. Remember, get out there.